Cindy. For those who have not met, I'm a Sapphire Ambassador with Plexus. I'm coming up on my 3-year Plexus anniversary. So this whole experience being with this company has been completely life-changing. So if you are new and you're just getting started, just, buckle up because the ride is so much fun and it's amazing. So again, thanks so much for coming. I want to let you know that tonight this is not going to be an ambassador training. We're not going to be talking about the business. We're not going to be talking about our back office or answering any questions related to that. This is more personal growth related. Okay, how to shift your mindset and how mindset and the momentum of your business kind of work hand in hand. Okay? Also, before we get started, I want to let you know that if you follow Les Brown, if you read John Maxwell, if you follow Kelly Roach, if you have read books like Switch on Your Brain or What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, you will hear a lot of the same stuff coming from me tonight because those are either books that I have read or people who I follow and emulate and who have taught me and guided me and who I continue to follow. Okay? So, first things first. I want you guys all, this is definitely going to sound familiar to you if you pressed play on Pink Minds Think Alike. That's my team page. Last week I posted a link from Les Brown, and it was a training from him on mindset. Okay, and one thing that he had his audience do was to repeat something, and I'm going to have us repeat it tonight. Okay, and I want you to think about this and repeat this to yourselves, not just tonight, not just tomorrow, but keep it in the back of your minds throughout your journey. Okay? Good things are supposed to happen to me. Okay? Let's all say this together, okay? Good things are supposed to happen to me. Say this every day, okay? We live in a world, do we not, correct me if I'm wrong, where we believe that, for the most part, that bad things are supposed to happen to us. I know that's how I lived for the majority of my life, more than half of my life. This is how I lived, thinking that I had this little black cloud floating over my head and that I was constantly waiting for the next ball to drop. Unexpected sickness came into my life, loss, heartache, struggles, challenges, and they all seemed to follow me. So I felt like I was entitled to wait for that next shoe to drop. So when good things did happen to me, and looking back now, I did have long stints of greatness, but I was always waiting. And so when those good things were happening, I was saying to myself, okay, this is too good to be true, right? Do we say that to ourselves? This is too good to be true. Something has got to happen. What is going to happen? So I used to lay in bed, and I used to pray, and I used to beg, and I used to bargain, and I would just fall asleep at night praying that something bad would not happen because that's what I felt like my life was used to. As I changed the way that I thought and my mind shift changed, and mind you, this has taken me years, okay? I just turned 40, and I have been in therapy since I was 18. And not, I am a person, I am pro-counseling, pro-therapy, whether there's something significant happening in your life or not. I love therapy. I love counseling. I love going and speaking to someone who is unbiased, out of my family. Just, it's cleansing for me. So I've been doing this for 18 years. So changing the way I thought and changing my mind shift is not something that happened overnight. Okay, but as I changed the way I talked to the way I prayed, and what has happened when I'm laying in bed at night has completely changed. So now I also wanted to pray, before I started this, I wanted to let you know, I really hope I'm not going to get emotional, but this is a really emotional topic for me. So if I do, just get emotional with me or don't mind me. So now, when I pray and I lay in bed, I find myself falling asleep, not begging, not bargaining, but thanking God for every little thing in my life. And it just I just realized one day that this is what I was doing. And it was then that I realized I had transformed. I had gotten to the place that I had worked so hard to get to all of these years. But again, this is not something that happens overnight. This takes work, okay? So this shift in conversation happened as I started trusting. I started trusting in the Lord, and I started working on myself every single day and speaking positivity into my mind and into my heart every single day. I worked really hard on digging deep and taking responsibility for things that had happened, and for where I was in my life, where I had been in my life, and I worked hard on removing the toxic elements in my life. I am still not there, but I'm still working on it. So, before we get going again, I just want us to say it again, okay? Good things are supposed to happen to us. So repeat this every day, remember it, and start to believe it. And the more you say it, and the more you speak it, the more you are going to believe this, okay? So first we're going to talk about momentum, and how do we create momentum in our lives? How do we create momentum in our business? I don't think that we can have momentum in our business if we are not in the right place in our lives. Okay, I feel like they all go hand in hand. So what does it take to create success? What does that path look like? I will tell you right now that discipline and sacrifice is a requirement. It is needed. It is a huge requirement. A small burst of excitement every now and then is not going to get you to your dreams. This is something else I want you to remember. It's the little things that are the big things. It's the little things. It's the small daily actions that we take that help us to accomplish our goals and our dreams. It's the little things that we do each and every day that are going to, someday you will look back and realize it was those little daily things that you did that got you to the place that you will be. So the first thing is time management. Okay, I know we all have, issues with time management. I know that I do. This is something that I've been really, really working on for a long time, and I finally feel like I'm kind of making some strides here. But time relates to goal achievement, okay? The only thing in the world that is irreplaceable is time. The most valuable thing, the most valuable asset that we have at our fingertips is our time. How you use your time determines the quality of your life. Okay? Just let that sink in for a minute. How you spend every minute of your day, how you spend your time determines the quality of your life. How you use your time determines whether or not you will achieve your dreams. And where you focus your energy decides your destiny. In regards to time and time management, we need to think about a few things, okay? Being proactive versus being reactive. Do you know the difference between proactive and reactive? Are you being income producing Or are you standing still and waiting to respond? Are you working towards your dreams? Or are you just putting out fires? Are you reacting? Are you responding to emails, messages? Are you just dealing with problems that other people in your life or other people on your team are having? Or are you being proactive and working towards your goals? Producing versus consuming. Okay, so to make progress, to move forward, we need to be producing, or we need to be proactive. We need to be proactive in our actions, in the actions that are going to impact us in achieving that outcome that we are looking for. If anyone is cold, please say so, okay? I see that Christina just put her jacket on.
I'm sitting right
and it was warm, and so we may need to, don't be afraid to raise your hand and say you're freezing, because I'm getting a little cold. Okay, so we're talking about producing versus consuming. So if you're consuming, you're responding and you're reacting too much. You are not focusing enough of your time producing. You're not working on those income-producing activities, or what we call in our business IPAs. Okay, so if you're being reactive and you're consuming too much, you're not working enough on the activities that are going to bring income into your business. So 1 hour a day of dedicated energy and focus on your number one priority, your number one goal, is going to get you where you want to go. I've heard this a lot of times throughout the past few years, that I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to make an impact. And I personally don't believe that, okay? I don't have enough time to reach my goals. So that's not true. I believe that you can make an impact in a few minutes or in a full hour if you put a system in place and you are wise with your time. So that's time management. Courage and discipline. This is something else that we all really need to work on. Courage and discipline, you need to be bold. How many times have we heard this in our business? You need to be bold about what you want to achieve. You need to stop caring about what other people think about you. You need to keep moving. You need to keep moving forward despite those challenges, despite what you think people may be saying about you. Other people's negative opinions of you are not going to feed your soul. And they absolutely 100% are not going to pay your bills. There are always, always, always going to be people who judge you, who criticize you, who have an opinion about every single thing you're doing, whether it's Plexus or whether it's the way you take care of your children or how you cook or how you keep your house. There's always going to be people who criticize you, who pass judgment over you. In this business, this only will get worse as you become more successful. But it's up to you to put that aside and not worry about what other people are saying or what other people are thinking. You need to have the courage to move forward and to put those thoughts aside. Your success, I'm sure that you've heard this in life and in business, okay? Your success makes other people feel badly about themselves. Whether they realize that consciously or subconsciously, your success makes other people uncomfortable and makes them look at themselves and question who they are, where they are going, and why you are leaving them behind. You need to get past this. You need to stop caring, and you need to follow that passion that's in your heart. This is when you will realize, believe me, this is when you will realize who your friends are, who truly loves you, supports you, encourages you. This is when you will figure out who those people really are. So you need to get disciplined about who you are taking advice from. This is really, really important, and this is a lesson I have learned in my life outside of business that I've been able to apply to my business. Get disciplined about who you're taking advice from. It is not necessarily the people that you love or the people that you're closest to that you should be taking advice from. You need to be taking advice from the people who are where you want to be. Okay? Take advice from the people who are in the place in their life that you want to get to. Those are the people. They are the ones who have the advice for you that you're waiting for. Being courageous to risk failure, you need to risk failure in order to achieve success. In order to be in the running to achieve success, you have to take that risk. You will never, ever know unless you take the chance. You'll never know what's on the other side of that door unless you turn the knob. So you have to have the courage to take the risk of failing. When you realize that risking failure is part of this game, it's part of the plan, it's a requirement, you will see your momentum skyrocket. You need to be ready to bounce back, okay? Be ready to bounce back in spite of all of these challenges, in spite of what people are saying about you or to you. Be ready to bounce back and move on and push forward. So number 3 is serious, strategic plan and a proven course or system to follow. Okay? So are you on the path to achieve the outcome that you want? Are you walking that path, or are you, have you taken the other road? Which way are you going? Are you following a role model? And do your daily activities, what you are doing daily, do they correlate to what you want? Do they correlate to what your dreams are, to the point that you need to get to? Are you doing what you need to do every day in order to get there? We all have craziness in our lives, all of us. I don't think there's one person in here that can say that I don't have this going on or that going on and I'm busy, and we all have craziness. But your actions every day have to correlate to your goals, or you will not get there. Follow a roadmap for success. Is your plan proven? Is the plan, the path that you are walking, is it a proven plan? Has someone else taken this road and been successful? Is it replicable? Okay, successful people leave tracks for you, for us to follow. We have the Cliff Notes. We don't need to waste time trying to build our own roads. We can just get in our car and drive along the roads that are already paved. Because those successful people, chances are, they have documented it. They know what their success is, and they're sharing it with us. Buy online courses. Okay? If you can't afford to buy an online course, if you can't afford to get a coach, or you don't have someone in your life that can coach you, find a mentor, or get on YouTube, listen to podcasts, get on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, and follow a plan, follow a person who is where you want to be. Positive pressure. This is a really important one also. You want to surround yourself with people performing at a higher level than you are. You want to surround yourself with smart people. You need that personal pressure to keep moving forward, to get you need those people to get you off your butt, to get you working, and to keep you moving, to keep you working. An example that I have, my son, for those of you that don't know, he has Down syndrome. And he is since he went into preschool, we have insisted that he be in a typical classroom. And he's had an aide with him, but we want him in a classroom where he is not the smartest kid in the class. We want him reaching that bar and looking at other kids in his class who are smarter than him, who are accomplishing things at a greater pace than he is. We want him to want to do those things, to model himself after them. Oh, I thought something might have. So it's important to surround yourself with people who are ahead of you, who have done this before, who are positive people, and who are going to encourage you, who are going to push you. You do not want to feel sorry for yourself when things go wrong, because are things going to go wrong? Things are always going to go wrong. My husband used to tell me when I was, for the majority of my life, and I've been with him for the majority of my life, that stop thinking the way that you do, because you're constantly telling yourself something bad's going to happen, something bad's going to happen. I know something bad's going to happen. Oh my gosh, do you have cancer? Do you have this? Do you have that? Because someday, eventually, something bad is going to happen. So of course you're going to be able to look back and say, I told you something bad is going to happen. So you want to surround yourself with people who are positive, and you don't want to feel sorry for yourself. It's okay, though. It is okay. It's normal to beat yourself up a little bit when things happen, but once you change your way of thinking and you are around more positive people, it's the way that you're going to bounce back quicker. Okay? The time that it takes you to recover from those challenges or those struggles or that heartache is going to be lessened. Okay? The gap is going to shrink. So as long as you move past that disappointment and let it fuel you towards reaching your goals, instead of bringing you down, then that is the lesson to be learned. It's so important not to make excuses. We could all come up with excuses. And I don't stand up here trying to sound any better than anyone else, because I've told you, I've been down. I've made excuses. I have felt sorry for myself for a good majority of my life. But I learned, like I said, to look within and to take responsibility for where I was, where I wanted to be, where I had been. And most of you know that almost 2 years ago now, after I had my baby, I got eclampsia, and like 12 days later, and I almost died. And that was the best. I could have just given up. I could have just said, I just can't do this. I'm exhausted. I need to concentrate on. And don't get me wrong. I did concentrate on myself. I concentrated on my baby, but I did not give up on my dreams. I did not put my work aside. I still pushed through. That was a huge struggle. On top of the fact, my husband was also sick and wasn't a great help to me at the time. So I really, really had to pick myself up and not make excuses for myself. Jody, who was here, and in fact, during that time is when I actually promoted to Sapphire, which is pretty crazy. Jody was supposed to be here tonight. Her baby is sick, but a lot of you may or may not know that last year Jody had a brain tumor. And she really struggled. And but during that time, she promoted to Emerald. She still worked her business. She had built a strong team who stood behind her. She worked her butt off before that happened, as did I, to have a strong team who stood behind us to help push us through. So don't make excuses. We all can make excuses, and we all have those bad days. Don't get me wrong, where we just don't feel like doing things. But it's how you come out on the other side that matters, okay? There's going to be lots and lots of days that you don't want to continue. We all go through that. But that's why you need to make a conscious effort. You need to really be conscious about the people you are hanging around with. Try to be intentional about the people that you surround yourself with. Intentional about the people that you are with are motivating and supporting. They encourage you and they push you to move forward. And they support you in reaching your goals and your dreams. So the last thing that I believe that drives momentum is mindset. This is huge, whether it's in your business or your life. I hope that you can take what we're talking about here and apply it to what you may or may not have going on in your personal life and to your business. Because again, if the two are not meshing, then I don't think you'll be successful at anything. If you don't believe this, I want you to get there, okay? Everything starts and ends between your ears. Everything. Smart people, successful people get this. They understand that. Our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions, our behaviors, these are things that we need to work on keeping in check every single day, constantly. Keeping your head in the right place, keep improving and upping your game, and the results will follow. I'm living proof, okay? Outside of Plexus, mindset is the biggest thing. This is something you need to work on every day. It is not something, people who are committed to mindset and personal growth and working on themselves, they don't pick up a book every once in a while and read it here and there. They don't attend a training or a workshop or a seminar once a year. These are things that people work on every single day, multiple times a day. It's always in the back of their mind. So get your mind in check. Tell yourself, decide what you want to do and how you're going to get there. I said it earlier, but it's the little things that are the big things. It's the little things that we do every day that end up being the huge, really important things. Set yourself up for success by breaking things down and putting that plan that we just talked about into place. Be intentional. You need to be intentional about everything in your life. And certainly intentional about resetting your mind every day. Positive self-talk every day. Progress over perfection creates momentum. Progress over perfection. Nobody is asking anyone to be perfect. You just have to progress. You just need to keep moving forward. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. Okay, think about that. If you are focused on, you woke up okay, so let's just say this. This is kind of crazy, kind of make things silly, but this is not what I planned on wearing tonight. And I was really irritated when I was going through my closet, and I was like, where is that shirt? I know I bought that shirt. And I could not find it, and I was getting so irritated. And I really was getting irritated. I was in a bad mood. But then I just turned it around, and I put on another outfit, and that could have totally changed. I could have focused all my energy there and told myself, you're not wearing what you wanted, you don't look as good as you wanted to look, blah, blah, blah. And that could have been where my focus went and all my energy went. But I had to tell myself, who really cares? It's not the most important thing in the world. And come here and be who I am and be excited and passionate and let my energy flow here, not at home over something ridiculous. So keep that in mind. That your focus, where you focus your energy, where your focus goes, your energy flows. Okay? So, what you think, I truly believe this. What you think has the power to come to fruition. Okay? Positively and negatively. So watch what you say to yourself. Watch how you talk to yourself. Watch what you say about yourself. Be really conscious of that. Our words are so powerful. Okay, what do they say? Life and death begins at the tongue. Right? So, like I mentioned earlier, you keep telling yourself something bad's going to happen. You keep talking negatively about yourself. Something bad is eventually going to happen. Speak positivity into your heart and your soul and your mind. We talked a little bit about this, but being immune to criticism, okay? Being immune to criticism, but open to positive feedback, okay? That's really important. You always want to look for ways to improve yourself. You want to be open to guidance and feedback without taking offense to it. Okay, and if this is something that's difficult for you to do, this is definitely something that you need to work on. There's always going to be people who want to see you stay right where you are, like we just chatted about, okay, because it makes them feel comfortable. So they are going to continue to criticize you, continue to tell you, what are you doing? Who do you think you are? You're not going to be able to accomplish that. It's one in a million, because they don't want you moving forward. They don't want you moving ahead. You moving ahead is going to take them out of their comfort zones, okay? Everyone has an opinion, but that bulletproof mindset is critical. So it's fine, again, to hear their thoughts, but be selective in the people that you're taking your advice from. Take it from a credible source. Like we've heard our whole lives, consider the source. It may be easier said than done, but it comes from belief and it comes from confidence in yourself. How do you do that? How do you build belief and how do you build confidence? You do that by doing it. You do that by getting out there and trying. You do that by practice. Practice, getting out there, that's going to build your confidence. You can always go back and tweak things and change things. But you have to start. You have to get going. You have to take that first step. Remember that you cannot make everyone happy. It's not going to happen. This is something that I struggled with for my entire life. You cannot make everyone happy. You never will. You need to worry about making yourself happy. Worrying about making other people happy and basing your decisions is not a smart move for your life, and it certainly is not a very strategic, smart business move to make decisions based on whether or not they're going to make someone else happy. If you know in your heart that you're doing what's right for you, you're doing what's right for your family, and you are working, in your heart that you have a goal to accomplish, you have a dream that you want to see come to fruition, then you need to not worry about what other people are thinking. If your why is pushing you, the more you concentrate on what you're doing and why you're doing it, the less likely you're going to be to worry about what other people think. You're going to get that validation from yourself. You are not going to need that validation from anyone else anymore. Everything is a test. Let go of the need, like I said, to be perfect. Embrace this journey. This is your journey to shape and to mold and to enjoy. So you want to get in this mindset. When you are in this mindset, the pressure is just going to come down. And you stop worrying about other people, and you start thinking about yourself, and you start thinking about your family and why you're doing this, and start talking positively to yourself, your whole world is going to change. Like I said, you can always go back, you can always make changes, but you need to get going and you need to start. Just this morning, again, I listened to the Celeste Brown YouTube video that I had posted on my team page. I have listened to it multiple times, and one thing that sticks in my mind that Les says is, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start in order to be great. Okay, you don't have to be perfect. No one's looking for perfection. You just need to just take that first step. You need to get yourself in the mindset that you are in this for the long haul. Okay, set yourself up that this is it. You're in this for the long haul. This is why I'm doing this, and I'm gonna face these ups and these downs and these struggles and challenges, because I know that in the end, what I am working for, what I am fighting for, is worth every tear, any blood, sweat, or tears that you shed. Okay, and you will shed some tears. You hopefully won't shed any blood, but you will find yourself, whether you're discouraged and disappointed, and upset over that, or whether you are, crying tears of joy and pride because you have pushed through. You have worked so hard, and your success has brought you to that point. Okay, there are going to be tough times. There definitely are, but there are going to be more times, that are so amazing and so worthwhile and so worth your effort. So many more times than the struggles and that you're going to have to go through to reach your dreams. You want to work. I think some people think that, success. People just get there. Some people are lucky. It takes work, and it's not something that happens overnight. The successful person is 15 to 20 years in the making. Okay, they've gone through everything that we're talking about. They've gone through all those ups and those downs, and they just kept going. In order to keep going, it's really, really important, though, to take care of yourself. Okay, take care of yourself while you're pushing through. Get your sleep, eat right, exercise, maintain your relationships, because once you reach those dreams and you reach that time freedom and that financial freedom, if you're not healthy and you don't have those relationships and the people in your life to share them with, then all of that work that you just went through is pretty much worthless, is it not? So keep your why in the back of your mind as you're pursuing your business, and don't let building your business and working towards your success take away from everything you're actually working for and who you're working for. Always put that positivity into your head and into your mind so that you can keep yourself in the game. Remind yourself, again, that there's going to be lots of ups and downs in your business, and lots of ups and downs in your personal life that are going to affect your business, or that have the potential to affect your business. Okay, but we all have free will. We all have choices in life. So it's up to you as to how those circumstances, those challenges, and those ups and downs are going to affect you. Okay, they're going to happen. It's just the way the world works, believe me. So I want you to ask yourself, is this a lifetime commitment? Are you in this for the long haul? Is this a lifetime commitment? Or is this just a convenience for you? If it's a lifetime commitment, no matter what, then your behavior and your actions have to be wrapped around this journey that you are on. How you act and how you behave. It has to engulf you in your journey. part of the journey are the days when you feel like giving up and crying and that you do want to scream. And like I said, there's also going to be days that you feel so high and so fulfilled. You are going to feel, you're going to realize what you've been blessed with. You're going to feel so successful and feel so prideful. And it's all building your mental toughness. This is what this is doing, okay? This is what you're working on. This personal journey, this personal growth, personal development journey of changing your mindset, this is building your mental toughness, right? How tough are you? It's preparing you for everything that you really, truly are capable of doing. It's our mind that tells us whether we are capable or not capable. So it's preparing yourself for everything that you're capable of. You're building your strength, determining how well you are going to be able to help other people. Because that's what this is about. It's about getting ourselves to that place in life, in that place in our business, where we can help other people. Because I will tell you, you will not be successful in this business if you don't come to realize that it's not about you. We all have our hopes and we all have our dreams and our goals, but you will not accomplish those. You cannot do it by yourself. You can't. This is why you will hear, most network marketing companies will tell you, we are in the business. We are servant leaders. This is servant leadership of helping others to achieve their goals. By helping other people to achieve their goals is how we are going to progress. And you're going to wake up one day and realize, I'm there. I'm here. This is what I've been working for. And I've done it by helping other people. So changing this mindset is preparing you. It's making you tough so that you can teach your friends, your family, your team how to do it. Remember, staying motivated takes work every single day. Nobody wakes up feeling like motivated. They don't have that energy every single day. We have to tell ourselves, we have to work at it. Staying motivated is going to impact your business in so many ways. It means facing your fears, right? Facing your fears is huge in life and in this business. Going for no, challenging yourself to do what you don't want to do, especially on those days where you really, really don't want to do them. That's when you know you're motivated, right? When you are doing the things that you don't want to do, when you just want to put your feet up and do nothing, you just want to take a nap, but you go ahead and you push forward because you remember why you're doing this. Challenging yourself to push past your limitations, the limitations that have kept you where you are. Listen to those audiobooks. Listen to those audios that are in your back office, podcasts, YouTube videos. Read books, attend conferences and workshops. Step out of your comfort zone. Okay? Face your fears and step out of your comfort zone. Stepping out of your comfort zone. Host your own meeting. Okay? Host your own meeting or your own workshop. Start doing daily affirmations. There are so many ways that you can do this. There's apps on your phone where that will just pop up in the morning, things that you can say to yourself to breathe and pour that belief and positivity into yourself. Start reading the scripture. Start reading the scriptures from the Bible. Start listening to people like Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Joel Osteen, or other motivational speakers. Surround yourself with successful people and people who inspire you. And be intentional with it. Be intentional with your interactions and be intentional with your relationships. All of this is either going to take away from you or it's going to add to your energy and your motivation. Positive energy and staying motivated is a requirement. I tell you this, it's a requirement for any business. It's a requirement for life, right? Staying positive, staying motivated. How would we put one foot in front of the other? Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. This is so important, right? Don't stay in that little box of comfortableness, okay? Like we just said, you're not going to know where you can go until you take that step. Practice. Practice falling. It builds confidence. You know, a child doesn't learn to walk the first time that they take a step. It takes practice. So, and the more that they fall and the more they get up, the more confidence they have that they can do this, the more they believe in themselves that they can make it to the door. But it takes practice, okay? So, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Stretch yourself, okay? Face your fears and stop worrying about what other people think. You may need to start doing things like this, okay? Standing up. This may be something that, maybe something that you are not comfortable with. Well, that should tell you right there, okay, I need to start doing things like this. And it may not be a room full of 30 people. It may be a room full of 3 people. You start small. You start with phone calls, but you start. That is the most important thing. You start, okay? You will figure it out, okay? If you don't know how to be a leader, if you have a team, if you have even one person on your team, consider yourself a leader. And if you don't have anyone on your team, if you take the advice that you're hearing tonight, you will be a leader before you know it. Think about this. Doing more of what you've always done will only get you more of what you already have. How true is that? Right? So if you're here because you want more, then get comfortable right now with being uncomfortable. Okay? Because that's why you're here, right? Because you want more than you already have. So step out of that box. Step out of your comfort zone now. Your business is not going to deliver beyond your investment in it. Everyone wants success. Everyone. Who does not want to be successful in their life? But most people are not willing to give what it takes in order to get to where they want to be. But that's not anyone in this room, right? Because you're here. You've already taken the first step. Now all you need to do is just keep going. Put your plan into action. Change your mindset. Work on changing your mindset. Work on staying motivated. Everything else that we've talked to, put all of those things into action now. You're already here. You've already taken the first step. Don't go backwards. What happens from here on out is up to you. Okay, I've said this from the very beginning. 3 years ago when I started this business, we all have the same opportunity. We all have the same opportunity sitting in front of us, but it's up to you to take it and run with it. So what happens from here on out is up to you. Whether you go back to doing what you were doing before you stepped in this room tonight, or if you're going to do something different when you leave. That's all up to you. You will not get to the top. I'm telling you, you will not get to the top if you don't give what the people at the top have already given. Okay? Like I said, there is no shortcut. There is just no shortcut. There is no luck. It all takes work. Working the business takes work, and working on yourself takes even more work. You have to go through the struggles. You have to go through the challenges. You have to go through all of that to get to the level that you desire. Growing never stops. Like I said earlier, this is something you will continue to work on. I will never stop growing. You just personally, professionally, it's something that you work on every single day. There are so many successful people in this world, that are not comfortable doing the things that they may appear to be comfortable doing. Make sense? They are stepping out of their comfort zones and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. They are not comfortable. It may not come naturally, but they know that it's a requirement in order for them to be in the place in their life that they have reached, to reach that level that they want to reach. It's their why that has continued to push them through. Now, you can do all of these things, okay? You don't have to stand up here and do this. You can do, like I said, what comes natural to you. But you have to do something. You have to step out of your comfort zone a little bit. And you will see that the more that you do it, the more you believe in yourself. The more that you do it, the more you are going to believe in yourself. And it's like a domino effect. What works for you, this is what we say with our products, right? What works for one person may not work for another. So this may not be you. You may not feel comfortable up here doing this. So you don't have to. You have to do what comes naturally to you. But there are other things that I know you don't feel comfortable with. So step out of the box. You have to put in the time, okay? I don't care if it's late nights or early mornings or if it's in your car or working in the little nooks and crannies of your day. You have to work. You have to work on your business and you have to work on yourself. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to, plain and simple. You have to give more of yourself to yourself. Does that make sense? You have to give more of you to you. And then you will be able to give more to other people around you. You have to sacrifice more. You have to invest more. You have to put yourself out there more. You have to risk failure more in order to create the freedom that I know every single person in this room wants. Otherwise, you would not be sitting here. It's par for the course. And the last thing is, I've said it throughout the night, is that you have to believe in yourself. You have to. Changing your mindset and making that mindset shift, you will get to that place where you believe in you. You believe that you can do this. You believe, despite all of the struggles and the challenges that we may be facing in our lives or in our company, that it's okay. You believe enough in yourself. You believe enough in this company. You believe that you're with the right company at the right time with the right team and that you can do this. If you don't believe, if you don't have that belief, then you got to get there. You got to get there. So, that about sums it up, but I want to ask you guys, what are you going to do differently from here on out? Now that you've taken time away from something else that you could be doing, you've taken time away from your families, you've driven, spent 2 hours in the car to get here, going to spend 2 hours in the car to get back. Now that you've sacrificed your time, how is this 60 minutes, how is it going to change your life? So I want you to think about that when you leave. And I want you to continue to say to yourself that good things are supposed to happen to you. They're supposed to happen. That's what life is about. Life is about good things. We all have struggles. We all have bad days. But it's not supposed to be that way. So I hope that you all enjoyed this and got something out of it. And I really enjoyed sharing my story with you guys. And I hope that you enjoyed listening to it.